Alright, I have watched every movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Unfortunately. I have not seen all the shows. I'm not incorporating the shows into this. My experience with the MCU is up to Endgame. I watched pretty much all of them as they came out, or most of them. I'd say like 95% of them. Once Endgame happened, I fell off, pop in here and there for ones I kind of cared about, but there were a lot of blind spots for me. So what I did recently was I went through and I watched all the ones I hadn't seen in chronological order, which was a very mixed bag. I'm not a huge Marvel Comics guy. I don't read comics. I enjoyed the movies pre-Endgame. The decline has been pretty steep afterwards. As far as the shows go, I watched WandaVision. I liked that one a lot. I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. That one was okay. And I watched season 1 of Loki. I thought it was okay. And I don't think I've seen any other shows beyond that. I didn't rewatch every single movie in preparation for this. I'm kind of just going off what I remember. I'll probably get stuff wrong. I don't care. Don't correct me. We're just going to start from the bottom. Number 37. Captain America: Brave New World. I watched this today, and I think it's a fucking terrible movie. I try my best these days to, kind of be patient with, movies, but this one is just absolute cowardly drivel. Hated this movie. I think it is immensely boring. Sam Wilson, they don't give this character anything to do. All he goes on about is he's got a chip on his shoulder because he's not Steve Rogers, which you do not have any of the charisma that Steve Rogers has. Harrison Ford in this, what a waste of Harrison Ford. It's honestly kind of sad that the actor who played Thaddeus Ross passed away, because I feel like I would have liked seeing him play this character more, or continue playing his character in this movie more. Every character is boring, with the exception of, his little Falcon friend. I was like, okay, he's, I guess a little funny. Giancarlo Esposito is in this. Total waste of him. In Captain America: Brave New World, the global superpowers of this world are America, Japan, France, and India. And we know why they're not having Russia or China, especially not China, be the main sort of antagonistic force in this, because they don't want to piss off the China market. But it's just crazy. It's crazy to pick Japan, of all countries, to be the, the big conflict between nations over our military and adamantium is Japan. I saw, a review that was this is the first apolitical thriller, and it very much is a cowardly film that has nothing to say. Nothing to say. And if you're making a movie with Captain America, and especially in these times, and the fact that your movie has nothing to say at all is so cowardly and vapid. Especially Superman came out the same year, and that is a very political movie. Tim Blake Nelson is in this, and he's wasted. It's just nothing memorable happens. I guess, and by the way, there's spoilers, so for all the movies moving forward, I guess he turns into Red Hulk. I'm not a comic guy, so for me, I'm is this what Red Hulk is? Just a very underwhelming, he gets angry because the whole time Tim Blake Nelson has been poisoning him with Red Hulk pills for his heart. And then he just he becomes a Hulk for maybe 10 minutes, and then Sam Wilson's hey, remember your daughter and cherry blossoms? And he's oh yeah, and then he turns back. It's just a checklist, all right, we have Red Hulk. Clap for Red Hulk. Oh, we have him in the movie. Isn't that so cool? Which, by the way, they spoiled in all of the promotional material. It's the climax of the movie. It's supposed to be, I guess, maybe the surprise. And they just were well, we got nothing else going on in this movie. I guess we got to have Red Hulk in it in the trailer, or else nobody's going to watch this movie. Absolute fucking disaster of a film. I hate this one. It is by far the worst one for me, and that is Brave New World. Number 36 is Captain Marvel. Man, this one was really boring. And I love Brie Larson. I think she's a great actress. And I feel like they didn't know what to do with her in this. It's a very bland movie to me. Jude Law, the MCU, especially in like the later movies, really love wasting some of the most talented actors we know. And Jude Law in this is nothing. Just nothing. A big problem for me with Captain Marvel, and then I will talk about the Marvels later, is all this like Kree stuff. It's like, okay, so the Kree are just all like kind of boring British people. I'm like, I don't care about the Kree at all. The Skrulls, I'm like, okay, it's kind of a nice, like, oh, like, the Skrulls are, like, actually good. They look like they'd be, evil aliens, but they're actually, like, very good. Like, I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting, I guess. Sam Jackson is in this, and it's like, okay, it's fine. But I just remember this one being extremely dull. And it really felt like they didn't know what to do with Captain Marvel as a character. I think she's a lot more fun in the Marvels, which we'll talk about later. But I really just remember seeing this one and being like, I'm bored out of my mind, and I feel bad because I like Brie Larson. I wish she was in something that was more fun. Something that I think is a problem for me with a lot of MCU movies is they're afraid to have too much fun and to be silly. Of course, with some of these, you'll see maybe being too silly is not a good thing. But it's just like, no, this is a serious comic book movie. And I'm like, you can have fun. Again, not to keep bringing up Superman, James Gunn's Superman. That's like a fun movie with heart. And a lot of these ones are bland and dry and boring as fuck. So I really did not like Captain Marvel. That's why it's here. Number 35, speaking of boring, is Eternals, and again, wasting of actors. Like, this one has so many good actors, especially Ma Dong-seok, one of my favorite Korean actors. Oh, what a waste of an actor. Brian Tyree Henry's in this. He's a great actor. He's wasted. It's a very ambitious movie, which I at least appreciate that they tried something. But oh my god, I feel like I'm living in real time the lives of the Eternals. It felt eternally long, this movie. And it's just boring, and like there's so many characters and I don't care about them. I don't know, man. Like I felt like with a movie with so many characters and such a long runtime and so many sort of ambitious ideas, what a joyless experience to watch. This one was a real struggle for me. And again, such a waste of a very talented cast. It is, again, the biggest crime of like the MCU, where you see people, you're like, oh fuck, I love this actor. He doesn't get to do anything, or she or they don't get to do anything in this movie. What a fucking snooze fest. I really wanted to like it, because this was one I didn't watch in theaters, but I was like, well, maybe it's just like kind of like ambitious but like misunderstood. No, it's a really boring movie. It's a really, really boring movie. Never want to see that one again. Number 34, this one's going to be, I think, a controversial take, is Fantastic Four First Steps. Woof. I found this one really boring. And I think the first 5 minutes of this movie, I was like, oh, this could be really fun. It's the 60s. It's kind of retro. There's these fun sort of mentions of these silly things they're doing with the what was it, a gorilla guy or something, and they're in retro commercials, and I'm like, oh, this could actually be a really fun vibe. I wasn't sure how I felt about the whole 60s thing, but then I was like, oh, this could be promising. And then the opening credits stop, and it's one of the most boring fucking movies I've ever seen. And I really like the actors they chose for the Fantastic Four, but that whole movie is just, oh, Galactus is coming. He's gonna, eat the planet or whatever. And, Galactus is boring. Also great actor playing him, Ralph Ineson. Waste of him. And then the movie is like, well, we gotta build these things to stop him, and then it doesn't work. So it's like, why did we waste so much time doing this? And then the end just feels like a wet fart of like how they defeat Galactus. Galactus to me feels like, isn't this like a big Marvel villain that is like one of the most iconic? Shouldn't it feel like a big thing? And it just feels like a disappointment. Absolute chore. So self-serious. I wanted something fun, you know? Like, if we're gonna go retro, let's be campy. Let's be campy and fun and have some fun in this setting. Oh my god. What a self-serious, wet fart of a fucking movie. What was his name? Paul Walter Hauser, is that his name? Like, as like the mole guy? I'm like, this could be fun. Nope. Nothing. Just nothing. They just skip through it. What a drag, man. What an absolute drag. Fantastic bore, fantastic snore. No thank you. Oh my god. I was just falling asleep in the movie theater on that one. Number 33 is Thor: The Dark World, which at the time I watched it, I was like, man, they can't get worse than this. And then, you know, a bunch of them proved me wrong way later. Thinking back on this one, the reason why it is not as low as the other ones is Tom Hiddleston is in it. And Tom Hiddleston is great as Loki. I remember he was doing some tricky dicky stuff and he like fakes his own death. And I'm like, he's like the one good part of this movie, which is an otherwise chore. And it has the dark elves, which I remember, again, a lot of their villains are just so fucking boring. Loki was like the one good part of this movie, and that's why it is slightly higher than the others, but not by much. This one was not great. They really picked it up with the next one, but the second one was a chore, a Thor chore. Number 32 is The Incredible Hulk. I don't remember this one that well. And that's kind of why it's kind of inoffensive to me. I don't have anything in it that I like really disliked, but I also didn't really like it that much. And this was the one with Edward Norton. I remember he was whatever. Honestly, I think Mark Ruffalo was a more goofily endearing Bruce Banner. I think they made the right choice in, doing him instead. This one, I don't remember a whole lot. It was kind of a boring one, and yet I think because it didn't feel super long, it just felt kind of whatever. That's why it's like here. It didn't feel egregious, but I really don't recall anything I particularly liked about it either. It is like a 0 movie for me, whereas the ones below this feel like negative movies for me. Number 31 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm not a big Ant-Man guy. I like the character when he's in other movies. As you'll see, I don't really care for his movies. I think, unfortunately for me, the comedy really falls flat in these films. I think seeing some of these movies in the theater actually it messes with or sets my feelings on the movie based on if I watch them at home. Because I watched a bunch of these more recent films at home, and I think because I didn't pay for a movie ticket and then have to go all the way to the theater, I had less expectations. So I think maybe I'm a little more lenient with some of them. Whereas this one I saw in theaters and felt like it was fine. I think this is the one that has like is it like a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser? Something like that. When Ant-Man's trying to be funny, it doesn't really work for me. But I will say, if you make a small thing a big thing, it's funny. It's the one scene I remember from this movie. I remember the character Ghost was in this one. I felt like that was very nothing to me. Lawrence Fishburne is in this, from what I remember. I don't remember anything he does. And that's the problem, is I feel like Ant-Man could be a lot more memorable. Like, that whole premise of, like, he can turn big, he can turn small, he can turn other things big. But all I remember is Hello Kitty Pez dispenser. And that's why it's pretty low for me. Number 30 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This one's bad. I watched this very recently, but I don't hate everything about it. I think as far as humor goes, it is maybe the more successful of the three. With that said, it's jarring. I don't like that the tone is so jarring. Like, the other Ant-Man movies are fun because it's like, oh, he's gonna turn the Hello Kitty Pez dispenser big. He's gonna it's Thomas the Tank Engine, it's big. Like, that's funny. It's a little campy. It's fun. When you go to the quantum realm and it just turns into like a knockoff Star Wars, I don't fucking care. Like, I really don't care. What a waste of William Jackson Harper. Like, he's a great actor. Bill Murray is in this for 5 minutes and then dies. It is a very baffling movie. The MODOK looked horrible. It was kind of funny that it was what's-his-face from the first one, but, you know, it was whatever. The Kang stuff is funny because I think Jonathan Majors in this movie is pretty good, but it's just so, like, wow, watching it after the fact, be like, none of this is gonna matter because of all the things that happened. And I will say, all the stuff that they were setting up, I was like, this kind of looks dumb as shit. Like, I was like, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with this. I don't know, maybe that's totally not fair of me to say, but I was like, I don't care about a whole world of Kangs. He does have a stage presence in this, or I should say screen presence in this. It's a weird one. It really feels disjointed. And again, the setting where it just became this weird Star Wars world was a big turnoff for me. So it's kind of a mess, but it might be, in terms of humor, the most successful Ant-Man for me. Number 29 is Ant-Man. Yeah, they're all kind of getting lumped together. They all kind of feel the same to me. This one has the Thomas the Tank Engine scene. I think that's kind of funny. That's about it. I like Paul Rudd. I don't think the character has a lot to him. I kind of wish, because he's like, I'm an ex-con. But he doesn't feel like a sort of anti-hero or like a he just feels like Paul Rudd. So there's no bite to the character for me. Yeah, I think there's also the joke of like, oh, there's the long story. I didn't think that was funny. Yeah, unfortunately, all three of these movies really fall flat for me. But this one had Thomas the Tank Engine, so it's going slightly above. Number 28 is Iron Man 2. This one's not good, but I actually moved this one up just now because I think Mickey Rourke in it is so absurd. It's kind of entertaining. And also Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer. There's just like dumb little bits like, take your shoes, or I want my board. It's just like it's a really dumb fucking movie, and also such a huge downgrade from one. But if I had to choose a movie to rewatch between like this and the Ant-Mans, I think I would rewatch Iron Man 2 at least one more time just to experience it again. It's bad, but not in a way that is just like unbearable to me. It's almost, I don't want to say so bad it's entertaining, but it's a little bit of that for me. I think this is the last one that I straight up don't like. Well, no, that's not true. I have some issues with some upcoming ones. Number 27 is Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, this one got a lot of hate. I think maybe my expectations were so low that when I watched it, I was like, it's okay. It is Taika Waititi at his most excruciating in terms of the humor. The humor is very juvenile. With that said, I was happy to see Natalie Portman get to do something. You know, Christian Bale is barely in it. I think he could have been a good villain if they had given him stuff to do. But this one did not enrage me. I think because my expectations were so low. I even think the Russell Crowe stuff is like kind of funny. Like, you know, it's a very, very silly, to the point where it was like too silly. Where I think, okay, we're just not taking any of this seriously. It does kind of just feel like a farce, which I think is a lot of people's problems with it. But I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I think it just falls into like, I'm glad I watched this on streaming and not in a theater. I think if I had seen it in a theater, I would have been a lot more down on this movie. Now, is that necessarily fair that some movies I watch streaming and some movies I watch in the theater? I don't really care, because ultimately this is just my subjective, you know, based off vibes list anyway. But I think that is a factor that I watched it on streaming, and I think it just felt like, I will say a lot of the ones around this era feel like really cheap TV specials. And this one felt like that, but not in a way that I hated. Number 26 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it there. I think people like this one. This one, I like the other Guardians movies, and I do like the Guardians Christmas special, but this one really fell flat for me. I think because, like, for me, I like James Gunn's movies, but I think when James Gunn thinks something is really funny, he really hammers it in. Like, isn't this so funny? It's so funny. And when it's not funny, it really falls flat. This one feels a little memey. I didn't mind the villain in this. You know, it's got like the Pac-Man bit. I was like, I don't care. Focus on the Michael Rooker character, his name is escaping me right now. Blue guy. I was like, okay, this is like the best part of the movie, right? His like relationship with Star-Lord. But it's like, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Not really for me. So this one fell flat, and it was disappointing because I really love the first Guardians movie, and this one felt a little too obnoxious to me. Number 25 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This one really pissed me off, actually. And it's not lower because I do like the Sam Raimi, like, very kind of, like, horror aspects of it, because Scarlet Witch is essentially like a terrifying, like, death machine in this. I think that is, like, kind of fun. But I really hate the character assassination of that character. Because WandaVision, I really like that show, and I think she's a great character in that. But in Multiverse of Madness, they didn't consult each other. So she's this really well-developed character, really empathetic, and then she becomes just this killing machine. And I really feel for Elizabeth Olsen. I really feel like that would have been just an agonizing experience to be like, wow, I poured my heart and soul into this show, and now I'm a one-note character. Not to mention, boy, the MCU loves to just kill off their only female characters. I think it's honestly a big problem, and it felt... Of course, people are going to say, well, she'll come back. Well, I don't think she's going to come back. I don't think she had a good time making that movie. It just felt disrespectful to the character. And I don't like Doctor Strange as a protagonist very much. I think he's fine. I think he's one of those like Ant-Man where I like him better as a supporting role in other movies. And then I even made like a video making fun of this. I also like it's the multiverse of madness, but it's just like, oh, in this one, green means stop and red means go. Oh, isn't that kooky? Especially when, we have a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is such a, bombastic, imaginative movie about a multiverse. Doctor Strange, it felt like the lamest possible interpretation of that. Oh, it's characters. Look, it's John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. Clap. Oh, look, Professor X. Clap. By the way, we're killing him again. I don't like being pandered to. So if a movie that I'm not into is just like, clap, look, it's Professor X, remember from other movie? I don't care if you're not utilizing him in a way that feels rewarding. And he's just there as a glorified cameo, and then they all die. It sucked. Should this one be lower? No, I think I'm sticking with it, but not crazy about this one. Number 24 is Spider-Man Far From Home. This one I'm mixed on. I think overall it was a kind of a forgettable movie. I really hate that Spider-Man has drones, and like he almost kills like a fellow student with a drone. I hate that. Spider-Man shouldn't have drones. And it's probably the worst part of the Tom Holland Spider-Man is the whole Tony Stark, here, have all my drones. Spider-Man shouldn't have drones! Like, I don't want Spider-Man to have had fucking war machines. So that was a huge drag. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is fun, and I love the scene where it's revealed that he's teaming up with all the sort of like mistreated background characters from other movies. I think that sequence is brilliant. And I think the whole like, we got him, and they're all like celebrating. That's a great scene. But it's only one good scene in a movie that feels to me otherwise very forgettable. And again, Spider-Man shouldn't have drones. It really felt like a misfire. Number 23 is Doctor Strange. This is one that I remember liking, but over time, I have forgotten pretty much everything about it. And that's why, even though I think it's good, like, I like Tilda Swinton in it, I think Doctor Strange is kind of boring, but it's fine. I think Mads Mikkelsen is wasted in this movie. All I remember is there's a lot of, I'm teaching you the arts, and, oh, look, things are getting weird. The Dormammu bit, where he's like, Dormammu, he comes back over. I'm like, okay, that's kind of fun. So this one, to me, it's like, it's harmless in a way where I'm like, okay, I remember liking it, but I don't remember much about it, so that's why it's going to still be kind of lower end. Again, I think Doctor Strange I like more in other movies. When he's the star, kind of bland for me. Number 22 is Thor. I remember Thor being pretty good. I think it's because it is taken itself seriously, but in a way that felt like, oh, it's like, it's fun. Tom Hiddleston, he's great. It's got the another, that's like the one scene I remember. I remember it being like pretty good. This kind of falls into like Doctor Strange territory where I'm like, I don't remember that much about this movie, but I remember liking it. It was kind of just one of the first ones, and I was like, oh, this feels different. It's kind of like a sort of a very fantasy. Oh, it's the gods, and Anthony Hopkins is there, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It's a different flavor. Thor himself was pretty bland in this. Really, it was Loki who like stole the show. Again, Tom Hiddleston, he's great. So whenever he's in one of these, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna bump it up for me. Number 21 is Captain America: The First Avenger. Again, it kind of falls into the territory. I remember this one, like, I kind of liked it. It was a little campier. He's got the like, oh, I'm punching, is it like Hitler or something in the stage play or whatever, and he's got like the little shrimpy guy, and then he becomes, he's got like a little bit of a romance thing with Peggy Carter. I kind of like that it's a little more, not saccharine, but like kind of sweet. It's like a sweeter movie. That reveal where he like, is revived and it's modern day, it does hit pretty hard. I think Chris Evans is very charming as Steve Rogers in it. So I think that's why it bumps it up in that of the Captain America, Thor, Doctor Strange. I think Thor and Doctor Strange are kind of boring in those movies, but Captain America, his earnestness is an endearing part of the character. And yeah, it was a different flavor. It was like the, World War II, so it felt like a different vibe. I remember enjoying it, not loving it, but having a good time, even though I don't remember that much about it. Number 20 is Thunderbolts. I just watched this today, and I gotta say I was a little disappointed. This one was kind of hyped up for me. I think it's pretty good. I think Florence Pugh is great. I love her as an actress, and I think her portrayal of Yelena is really endearing. I think she is overqualified for this movie. And I think what works for me in this is I like the characters. I think like John Walker, he's a fun dickhead. Like, I do actually like David Harbour, the Red Guardian character. Ghost was whatever. One thing that really kind of like, I knew this character was going to die because they showed the Doomsday cast and she wasn't in it. But like, so the character Taskmaster, in Black Widow, it is revealed that she was the brainwashed daughter of the main bad guy in it. And it was this very tragic thing, and then Black Widow saves her. And it's like, okay, you know what? Like, I saved you now. You can live your own life. And then they bring her back for this movie, and they kill her immediately. Unceremoniously, too. They just shoot her in the head, and then they burn her corpse. I thought, and listen, I didn't, love Taskmaster. I thought she was fine. But it felt so disrespectful to, Black Widow. You have this character. She's saved. And then she shows up for 5 seconds and dies. And I know it's because of rewrites, because I was reading about it. And apparently she used to be one of the, cast, and then later she would die. They made the decision to well, we want to make sure it feels like anyone can die. No one else died, so that didn't matter. And then like they were like, oh, we want the sadness of the death to linger. The characters don't give a shit that she dies. So that was just like a weird little thing that bothered me. I think the Sentry character was fine. It was fun. I feel like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, Valentina, really became a lot dumber in this one in a way that I didn't like. It feels like this movie is just like missing a whole portion. Because, you know, well, first, everyone thought it was gonna be like a Suicide Squad movie, which I kind of wish it was. But I know they didn't want to like follow that. Essentially what happens in Thunderbolts is they all get sent to kill each other at this safe house, or not safe house, but like area where all her evidence is. They're like, oh, we were all tricked. Okay, we're gonna work together to climb up a tower. Then we go into a limo, and then we get captured by Bucky. And then now all of a sudden we love each other. We're not love, but yeah, we're a team now. I'm like, this is not earned at all. Like, this does not feel organically like this team has come together. Like, I do like, although I do think at this point, I'm kind of tired of this, where it's like, depression is the enemy. Depression is what we are, is the worst enemy. I do like that theme. I think at this point, I'm kind of like, we don't need to see this in every single thing. I guess the movie just was something I was not, it was a very different movie than I was expecting. Because it becomes like this, like, Inception, like, oh, we're going through the trauma maze, and I'm like, okay, sure. I just wish that I felt like this team coming together felt earned. Like, it doesn't feel earned to me, which is a shame because I do like Florence Pugh a lot. I do like the overall idea and the dynamics of the characters, but it felt very rushed. I don't even know if it felt rushed. It just felt like there was like a whole part of the movie where it's like, hey, this is the part where they're like really working together and they're like learning to, even though they hated each other, now they're like a team. I feel like that never happened. They escape a cell, they go in a limo, they get captured, they get the shit kicked out of them. Where was the part where we actually cared about? I don't know. So, disappointed. I thought it was okay, but this one was really hyped up for me, and I think it was a little disappointing. Number 19 is The Marvels. I think this one is going to shock a lot of people that it's this high up. I had really low expectations for this one. And do I think it's like that good? Not really. But did I enjoy it? I kind of enjoyed this one. Again, I think it helped that I watched it at home. I didn't go to the theater to watch this one. I think finally Captain Marvel felt like a character. I think in any other appearance of Captain Marvel, she was just this very serious, boring character. In this one, she felt kind of like awkward. I think Ms. Marvel in this is very endearing. I haven't seen the show she's from, but I thought she was just like a funny, like very organic, like I'm a fangirl teen and I love Captain Marvel. I thought that was a fun dynamic. I like oh my god, what is her name? Is it Monica? Monica. I was like, okay, having the three like team up in this sort of misfit team, it was cute. And like, oh, like when they're constantly switching, I was like, there's that whole sequence where they're like constantly switching, and it's like in Kamala's like living room or whatever. I was like, okay, yeah, this is fun. It feels fun when so many of these other ones feel bereft of fun. I think the villain in this one is one of the most boring ones ever. And again, it all goes back to like, oh, the Kree. I don't care about the Kree. I'm sorry. I just do not find this compelling at all. You know, there's that singing planet. I think a lot of people probably hated that. I thought it was funny. I actually think it worked for me. Someone I think on Letterboxd was like, this is the perfect girls sleepover movie. And I'm like, you know what? It feels like that. It to me, maybe why I'm kind of enjoyed it was it just feels like it's a fluffy, fun movie with strong female protagonists. I don't know. I did not hate it. And I felt like finally I liked Captain Marvel. whereas I feel like I was completely apathetic to Captain Marvel before. Is it a great film? No. Did I enjoy it more than I thought I would? Yeah. Would it stay at this ranking like a year from now? I don't know about that, but I'm not going to do an updated ranking. So right now I'm like, that's kind of fun. Number 18 is Avengers Age of Ultron. I feel like a lot of people don't like this one, and to be fair, I have not seen it since I saw it in theaters. But I remember enjoying this one. It's got that scene where they're trying to pull the hammer, and that was fun. I think James Spader's Ultron was a fun performance. I did like seeing Wanda and Quicksilver. I remember Quicksilver dying in the theater. Like, that felt like, I remember the audience reaction and like the palpable, like, no. And I think that's part of one of the strengths of the movie for me, is it's like, oh shit, like, he was a likable character and he's dead. Like, they actually, you know, had some stakes here. Now, revisiting it, would I like it as much? Probably not. Maybe some of the Whedon-esque writing probably hasn't aged super well. But this is one that I think benefited from a theater experience, just because moments like that felt good watching it with a crowd. It did kind of go a little long. There was a lot of just like fighting a bunch of Ultrons, but I remember enjoying it, and there are certain sequences that still stick with me. And again, it's just James Spader hamming it up. I thought that was fun. Number 17 is Iron Man 3. This one is fun. I think this one is a really weird one. It really subverts your expectations. It's got the whole fake out with what's his name? The Ben Kingsley character. Trevor. Like, you know, oh, he's the Mandarin or whatever. It's got Guy Pearce. I love Guy Pearce. And yeah, this one just felt like a weird offbeat, because it's, what's his name? Shane Black, I think, who did like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It just has like a very specific flavor that I really bought into. I was like, yeah, it's its own weird offbeat movie in the Iron Man trilogy. Yeah, I just felt like, you know, Tony Stark just kind of like, you know, struggling through it, but you're rooting for him. Yeah, I just remember having a good time with this one. And I thought it was pretty clever, and it definitely felt like a big return to form for the character after Iron Man 2, which was a real stinker. Number 16 is Spider-Man No Way Home. This one, I hear on a rewatch is not as good. I did enjoy the theater experience of this. I just don't know if it holds up now that because, you know, a lot of it was like, oh man, is Tobey Maguire going to show up? Is Andrew Garfield going to show up? Oh, they showed up. That's pretty cool. I do like seeing, you know, like Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe getting to like reprise these iconic characters. I think they all do a fun job. Does it run the risk of being a little too clap for the screen? Yes. But I enjoyed it. With that said, does it hold a candle to like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans? Not even close. I think as a movie, it's kind of forgettable. I think the best parts, of course, are where the three Spider-Men are like getting to talk to each other and hang out and work together. That whole stuff is really, really fun. But the sort of movie that it's all sort of centering around does feel a little bare bones to me in what's actually happening. And of course, they kill another woman. It's like, all right, great. Let's keep doing that. I don't think we needed that. I don't know. It didn't really. I don't know. It's like, oh man, we really needed to see like an Uncle Ben-esque death. No, not really. But I did enjoy it. I just wonder how it would fare. It's already in my mind going down as I'm going. Yeah, besides the fun cameos and the fun stuff, a lot of it didn't really stick with me. Number 15 is Black Widow. I think this one will be surprising for people. I liked this one way more than I thought I would. I had low expectations for this one. I did watch this one on streaming. And I remember people not really liking for this one. I think it's such a disservice to the Black Widow character that they killed her in was it Endgame, Infinity War, one of the two? And then they do the prequel movie to be like, all right, we did one. It sucks because I think Florence Pugh in this movie is great. I thought she was going to be just like another boring, self-serious Black Widow character, but she's really funny, really cute, and just endearing, like the little sister. I thought David Harbour would be really annoying as Red Guardian. I actually liked the dysfunctional family dynamic. The action sequences are pretty good. I really liked this weird, dysfunctional Black Widow family action movie. I thought it was fun, a little campy. I liked it way more than I thought I would. So, I don't know. Again, I think maybe just because my expectations were low, I just remember liking this one way more. You know, even my wife was watching it just passively, like, you know, halfway through, and she was even getting into it. And she was like, "Oh, I kind of want to rewatch this movie." So I don't know. I liked it quite a bit. It's not like incredible, but I had a really fun time with it. Again, Florence Pugh, she's the best. Number 14 is Deadpool and Wolverine. This is one I liked more than I thought I would because I really don't like the Deadpool movies that much. I really don't like one. I think, unfortunately for me, that character is trying way too hard and the jokes really, really, really fall flat. 2, I actually watched very recently in preparation for Deadpool and Wolverine. I liked it more because the action in it is better. I like Cable and Domino in it. I think both of them are, you know, both the actors do a great job, and I think it just adds, like, especially, you know, Josh Brolin as Cable adds some seriousness to it that I feel like it needs. It felt like it was more sincere than one. Deadpool and Wolverine, I will say, I don't laugh watching the other Deadpool movies, but Deadpool and Wolverine made me laugh, like, a good number of times. Like, because I don't sit there being like, "You're not going to make me laugh." I want a movie to make me laugh. Just the Deadpool movies usually really don't click with me in terms of humor. But because I think maybe this one had so many jabs towards the MCU, and, like, I think Hugh Jackman in it is just having a good time. And, like, I already knew all the spoilers, so it was a little too bad I wasn't surprised at all. But I still think the cameos in this are fun. Listen, it's clap, clap, clap for the screen, but I think because it is just wrapped in this very meta, like, hey, these are all these, like, properties that were failures or forgotten. This one really worked for me surprisingly well. Cassandra Nova or Professor X's sister? I thought that was a fun performance. Just getting to see, like, X-23 again, and, you know, I was like, yeah, this one's working for me. The action sequences are fun. Their fight in the car is really entertaining. Does it get a little eye-rolly? Sure. Does it get a little too try-hard with its humor? Sure. But the fact that it made me laugh and I just kind of had a good time with it, it really exceeded my expectations for a Deadpool movie. Because again, the other two, I think I laughed maybe once during both of those movies. And in 2, it's just like a Rob Delaney line. Other than that, I don't find them very funny. But Deadpool and Wolverine, I liked it. I think I just like Hugh Jackman. Number 13 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This one, it's all Rocket. I mean, it's got that very emotional Rocket backstory. I feel like Rocket was a character I liked fine, but then this movie really made me go, oh, okay. They're really giving him a lot to do here, and it's great. I was very endeared to him and his little misfit gang of creatures, and I think it was a good send-off. I do think, even in spite, I think them killing Gamora, again, going out about the killing all the women, killing Gamora in Infinity War felt like such a disrespectful way to treat that character, and yet I feel like the Guardians stuff afterwards does a pretty good job of, like, doing that character justice. Yeah, I don't know. It, like, the humor worked for me. It's got that very funny F-bomb scene that actually did make me laugh. Pretty fucking great action sequence too, where they're all in the hallway or whatever. I like these characters a lot. And even though I didn't like 2, 3 felt like a really good send-off for those characters. Especially the Rocket stuff. I was like, man, it's good to enjoy the Guardians in a movie again. Number 12 is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I really liked this one. I did not watch it in theaters. Obviously, you know, with Chadwick Boseman's passing, that stuff really hits hard. It's really emotional. I think, I'm blanking on her name, but the actress who plays his mother, it's a really just very heart-rending performance. I think Namor in this was great. I actually really liked his whole civilization, and I think the character was charming. I think it's a very, like, oh man, like, I really wish these two civilizations could, get along. Even just the origin of his name I thought was clever. I think Ryan Coogler is just great. He really elevates this material in a way that is clever, it's thoughtful. I just really like Wakanda. I think it's a really fun sort of locale. My problem though with both Black Panther movies is the final act always drops off. Like when all the Wakandans are on that like ship and they're just fighting, so not interesting to me. And then it just feels like, man, I was really into this for like 80%, and then I'm kind of like looking at my watch a little. I'm kind of like, this last part is kind of boring. But I thought it was a very respectful sort of salute to Chadwick Boseman, and yeah, I really liked it a lot. Just because I think he's a great director. Number 11 is Avengers Endgame. I like Endgame. I like Infinity War more because of the theater experience. With that said, it's got some great payoff. It is just like a time heist movie. I think I wasn't expecting it to be that, and I like that, but it wasn't. I guess it just didn't scratch the itch that usually happens with a good time heist or time travel-y movie for me. Maybe it felt like a little too neat. I don't know. But listen, when you see the Avengers assemble, when you see Steve Rogers get the hammer, it was a good experience. I remember distinctly what it was like in the theater watching it. It was fun. It felt cathartic. Steve Rogers dancing at the end it's a really nice ending that we thought at the time was an ending for these characters. Iron Man's death is a great death. So even though it's not in my top 10, that experience was great, and we really should have just ended it there. But we didn't. Number 10 is The Avengers. I think some people might be surprised this one isn't higher. But it is a great film. I have not seen it in a bit, but Loki's in it. I love Loki. He's great. It was a very successful, introduction of all these characters together. It felt earned, unlike Thunderbolts for me, in that I was like, oh man, these guys really feel like they're teaming up, and it's really fun. At the time, it was a novelty, right? Of seeing, oh man, all the characters from all these movies, it's Super Smash Bros. They're all meeting up, and it was very successful. Hulk punching Loki, Iron Man getting his trauma, shawarma. Listen, it's sure it's Whedon-esque, but it's good. It's a good movie with a lot of fun performances. Agent Coulson's great in it. It's still a fun movie. Definitely one of the peaks, for sure. Number 9 is Iron Man. This one's just fun. It is iconic. Jeff Bridges is it's a great Jeff Bridges performance in this. Downey is electric in this movie. He really just because again, before I watched Iron Man, I had no idea who Iron Man was really. I just kind of knew the name. So to have it be just this extremely career-defining electric performance, I think everyone in this is on point. They're charming. Tony Stark built it in a cave with a box of scraps. It really hits, and I think it's because Downey is just so fucking good in it. I think. Unfortunately, maybe I take him for granted how good he is as a character just because he's played him for so long. But in that movie, it really was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, let's go. And I just really enjoyed that. Number 8 is Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is higher up for me because of Tony Leung. I think his performance as the villain in this was so good. It was so heartfelt and complex, and it really felt like it was such a breath of fresh air from the typical forgettable one-note characters. Because I think Shang-Chi himself is fine. I think he's okay. I do like the action sequences in this a lot. I do find Ben Kingsley in this distracting. I kind of wish he wasn't in it. I like Awkwafina as the sidekick. I thought it was a fun dynamic between the two. Even just sort of the locale was fun. But again, for me, Tony Leung, man, I think he is just captivating to watch in this movie and is the reason why this is so high up. If it was a different actor, this one might be quite a few notches down. but I love that Tony Lin performance. And the action sequences, they slap pretty hard. Also, Wong's in this one. I like Wong. He's fun. Number 7 is Spider-Man Homecoming. My favorite of the Holland movies for sure. It's fun. It's breezy. It's fun seeing him just like, be a high school kid. Michael Keaton in this is fucking great. You'll notice that for me, sometimes like a really great villain performance can like elevate a movie up on the rankings for me. The scene in the car where he realizes that Peter is Spider-Man, it's so good. And I mean, also just like when he goes to pick up the date or whatever, and he opens the door and it's Michael Keaton or Vulture there, and you're like, oh shit, like the Vulture, how did he get there? And then you realize it's her dad. It's such an ingenious conflict. It's this, oh fuck, this was going really well, and this is gonna. You love mess. You want to see how it's gonna just devolve into, and it's great. The Tony Stark stuff is not my favorite, but I think in this it's that cast of characters at its best. I do like MJ and Ned. I think they're fun. It's like a very endearing trio of characters, and they're fun in that. But Michael Keaton, man, he's so good in it. I love that he's just like this cutthroat, like, hey, I'm a dad, but I'll fucking kill you because I need to support my family. So good. I love that character. Definitely the highlight of the MCU Spider-Man for me. Number 6 is Captain America: Civil War. I really enjoyed this one in the theater. I think it felt just like this great conflict between the two characters. It felt organic, like it didn't feel forced that they were at odds with each other. That airport scene is really fun, even though it is very silly. It's like the Civil War and there's like 8 of them in an airport. But it's still great. I really enjoy it. What is his name? Baron Zemo or whatever. I think that's a very unique, fun kind of twist on a villain. I think the performances from Downey and Evans in this are great, especially when they're at odds with each other. It's got that iconic where he just like stops the bullet with his Iron Man hand. It really did feel like, oh shit, like this is like, it's happening. Like, I don't know. I loved that sort of electrifying sort of like tension that I remember feeling watching this film. And yeah, also just grappling with the consequences of, hey, even though Bucky was brainwashed, yeah, he fucking killed a bunch of people, including, Tony Stark's dad. It's like, yeah, like, let's grapple with that. Let's deal with that. I don't know. This one really worked for me. And then I love just seeing like where people's allegiances lay. This one was a banger for me. I remember really enjoying it. And I look back very fondly on this one. Number 5 is Black Panther. Again, I've talked about how much I love Wakanda. I think Chadwick Boseman is very charming in this one. I think everyone in this is very charming for the most part. I mean, especially Michael B. Jordan is, I think, a phenomenal actor. I think Killmonger is like such a compelling villain. I love his like speech about like the museum and stuff. Like he's so good in it. And I really like the central conflict between the two characters. And then I love the Wakandan like sort of technology and the aesthetics. I think it's great. Again, the final act where it turns into a PS3 game where they're punching each other in CGI is a real drag. That is the part that really brings it down for me. But Wakandans are cool, man. I don't know. I totally was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I love this setting. I love these characters. So this one still ranks really high for me. Great performances, great setting. It was just a cool fucking movie, man. Number 4 is Avengers: Infinity War. Because I loved this theater experience. Even though I've got issues with it, that they kill Gamora, I gotta say, I loved watching these characters drop like flies. Like, oh man, like, I just remember the gasps in the theater when Loki, like the beginning, gets strangled or whatever. The sequence where they all turn to dust is so memorable. And obviously it's been memed to death, but I loved watching that and seeing, and everyone's being like, fuck, no! Like seeing all these characters die, and then we had to wait like a year or whatever to see what happened. It is a very, very memorable experience in my heart in terms of theater going. And I think Thanos is great. I think Josh Brolin really makes that character like compelling to watch. It is essentially a movie about him doing these things. Yes, he's a bastard, but he in his heart he thinks he's doing the right thing, and just watching him basically win and kill all these people, I was like, damn, this is really impactful. I really loved that theater experience. So Endgame felt a little too clean for me, but it doesn't diminish how much I enjoyed Infinity War at the time. It was great. I had a great time. All right, the top 3 are my golden 3. These were the 3 I knew would be at the top no matter what. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy. This was just a delightful movie. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the soundtrack. The characters are really endearing in it. And it was, again, a very kind of like Iron Man for me. It was like, I don't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy are, but I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they're all so unique, and they all just bounce off each other in really fun ways. I do think Ronan is a very boring villain, unfortunately, just like the other one from the other Kree from fucking the Marvels. But you know, listen, the dance off where they just like make him look like an idiot and they do a dance off, it was great. It was James Gunn, I think, at his best with the Guardians. I really was endeared to them. The comedy worked. It was just a fun, found family movie that I greatly enjoyed and really sort of set the bar for those characters for me moving forward. Number 2, this was a tough between the two, but I think number 2 is going to be Captain America: The Winter Soldier. God, this movie's fucking good. I love Steve Rogers as a character. I think he's great. I love his dynamic with Black Widow, her helping him out. I mean, Sebastian Stan, what a hottie in this. Listen, that knife scene where he catches the knife and the fucking, it's so fucking good. And then, he's in the elevator and then he's beating up all the guys and then he does the shield, he cuts the thing. Damn, that shit fucking hits, dude. Like, it was like Russo brothers at their best. It's like a fun, kind of like sharp, like kind of like political thriller in a sense. I love the Hydra shit where it's like, oh, BT dubs? Yeah, Hydra. And it's all the Hail Hydra and all the... It's so good. I loved this movie. I think the action's great. I think the characters are so fun. It is like peak for me. This one still lives in my mind of like, God, I love this one. It's a fucking great movie. I wish they still made movies that were good like this still. And number 1 is Thor Ragnarok. For me, I think this one is just a delight. I think we finally got to have Thor be fun. I think his dynamic with Loki is so fun in this. I've always loved Tom Hiddleston, and again, just like he's the dumb jock, he's like the Loki, little Loki. I'm just like, it's so good. I think Mark Ruffalo is utilized really well. I think Jeff Goldblum is ridiculous in this. I enjoy him. It's very, very funny. And I think it helps that this one wasn't written by Taika Waititi. Because I think he wrote Love and Thunder. But that one felt like you went a little overboard. But this one felt like it was Taika Waititi direction at its best. It's offbeat humor, but the jokes really landed. The relationship between Thor and Loki was so endearing and fun to watch them like just kind of become, friends again. I love Thor Ragnarok a lot. It's hard to choose between this and Winter Soldier. I think Thor Ragnarok's still my favorite. So it was a bummer also that after Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, listen, I just talked about how it was fun watching those characters die. But then it was like, oh yeah, by the way, everything they did in Thor Ragnarok, a bunch of the Asgardians die and also Loki dies. Which is something that just the MCU does a lot, where it's like, hey, remember that character you really like? Bleh. Hey, Gamora, bleh. Black Widow, bleh. Loki, bleh. Don't worry, he'll get a show later. But I really love Thor Ragnarok. But really, between Winter Soldier and that, I could see Winter Soldier, like, creeping up. But they're both fucking great movies. All right. That was my Marvel Cinematic Universe ranking list. If you have any complaints about it, I don't care. And I'm sure my opinions would change if I rewatch some of these, but again, it's just vibes, man. I was gonna say I'm very curious to see what the future holds, but I'm actually not at all curious. I think they're gonna be. I think they're not. It's not gonna be good. But it was fun going through, remembering movies that I really loved, shitting on movies I really hated. I had a good time making this video. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite and your least favorite. All right. Have a good one. Peace.